What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi, and I have decided, despite throwing out a lot of videos this Christmas Eve and Christmas Day tomorrow, that an issue has come up that I've decided is important enough to make a quick, or maybe not so quick, discussions video and talk about it. And I'm going to throw it somewhere in the mix. Because I want to get this out and I want to talk about this. And this is going to be a political discussion. And this is going to be a discussion that might make some of you mad. I don't know. First, I want to start the discussion with a story. Now, I haven't always been the anti-war progressive that I am today. Now, I like to think that since I tore the rebel flag down off my wall down in North Carolina, that it has been a progression to the left, to openness, to humanism. But when 9/11 happened, I wasn't quite there yet. I was still quite ignorant about politics and the world and the way the country operated. And I happened to be up that morning for 9/11, and I watched it live on TV. I mean, it was like right when I woke up was the first plane going into the first tower, and I literally had just turned the TV on, saw it go into the tower. I thought I was watching a movie, and then realized what was going on. And I experienced that terror of that day. You know, I called my girlfriend and made sure she was okay, and because she was in class, and I mean, it was just, I experienced that terror, and my initial reaction was, let's kill them all. I still had that conservative ideology of pretty much, war is going to solve any problem. And I was all gung-ho. And when Bush came out and invaded Afghanistan, I was gung-ho. When he came out and invaded Iraq, I was gung-ho. It wasn't until later that I went against the Iraq war. Initially, I believed the lies they said. I believed that Iraq had something to do with 9/11. I believed that they had weapons of mass destruction. I believed that they were helping the people that attacked us. I believed all the bullshit that they were saying. And I was gung-ho for that war. The person that wasn't, the person that was talking me against it down in North Carolina was my best friend, and I'm going to leave him nameless. That person was trying to tell me back then what I would later find out as I read the 9/11 Commission report and truly started to educate myself on politics, on government, on the way of the world. And this person was talking at me, and he was giving me all the points that war is wrong, that this is wrong, that we need to know the truth, that we shouldn't be rushing in and killing people, that this is going to be a holy war, a jihad, that this was going to be bad for America. And he told me all those things back then. Now fast forward to today, Christmas Eve morning. I've uploaded one of my Christmas videos. I'm editing part 5 as this happens, and I get into a Facebook war with the same best friend, a little Facebook argument with the same best friend who all those years ago had given me those leftist points of anti-war. And to his credit, he was one of the few people down in North Carolina that was probably against the Iraq war back then when it was happening, as it was happening. To his credit. He could see it before anybody else. So, I've been kind of maybe surprising some people on my Facebook lately. I'm very anti-Trump on Facebook. I'm very anti-Trump. I'm a progressive. I'm liberal. I despise Trump. I'm not going to run from that fact. But if Donald Trump does something that I agree with, I'm not going to hate him for it. And we're going to get into this, but this is primarily, this conversation was about pulling out our troops from Syria. Now, If any of you are left from my old channel, because some of you came over when I started doing this and I stopped doing my old channel. If any of you are left, some of you might remember the videos that I put out on Aleppo and the videos that I put out on Syria 2 years ago. You know, I'm very anti-war. I don't believe in war. I think war should be the last thing we do, the last solution to any problem. I think diplomacy, I think that humanism, just realizing that people are humans, education, you know, most of the problem that Osama bin Laden had with the West, and this is truth, this is fact, and I'm not justifying his actions. You know, you guys all know that I'm the raging atheist. I stand against religion, and I especially stand against religious terrorism. But one of his beefs with the West is how we hoarded our wealth, how we didn't help people. You know, if we'd have been open with our opulence, if we'd have been giving these people these irrigation systems and these air conditioning in their homes and these, you know, the water system, everything that we enjoy, even though it's corroding beneath us, if we had been open with that, then a lot of these people would not hate us. This is their beef against us, and they see us as these demonic societies because of it. You know, I'm not for war. And 2 years ago, I was against Syria. And if Donald Trump pulls out of Syria, I'm not going to just all of a sudden change how I fucking see that problem. I'm not going to change the fact that for the past 3 years that I've been educated about Syria and known what the fuck was going on there, that I wanted to get the fuck out. I'm not going to run from the fact that when Obama got us into Syria, I was against it. I've been against it from the very fucking beginning. And I'm not going to change my belief that war is wrong, that America shouldn't be committing these imperialistic wars trying to govern the world. That's not our job. And quite literally, this same person that was anti-war before argued that, like it or not, America is the world's police. We have our bases, and we've had them since World War II. All the neocon fucking arguments. This same liberal, who, and not just back in 9/11, but up until now, has always been anti-war. And just because Donald Trump did it means it's bad. No, it doesn't. Now, we need to separate these two issues here, because the issue of pulling out of Syria and the issue of Donald Trump's motivations for pulling out of Syria are two very separate issues indeed. And this is the point I tried to make in this argument this morning. And I was a little rude about it because I can't bear hypocrisy, especially from somebody that I respected when it came to their political opinion. Not when it comes to the person that was against my pro-war rhetoric back when 9/11 happened. And my point was this: that if Donald Trump's going to pull our troops out of Afghanistan, half of our troops out of Afghanistan, and pull all of our troops out of Syria, that's a win for me. That's something I've wanted, and I'm not going to not want it just because he did it. And on top of that, if Donald Trump pulled out of Syria and Afghanistan because Putin wants him to, and it's pretty much fucking clear as day that that's why he's fucking doing it, then that's killing two birds with one stone, because we just have more evidence of high treason against this motherfucker. That's killing two birds with one stone. I'm not going to change my political beliefs just because the president I disagree with does something I agree with, despite his motivations. And his motivations should be examined. And if he is doing it because he's being ordered to do it, well, I hope we can fucking prove that. But that does not mean we should be in Syria. That does not mean we should stand in support of genocide. And Russia's never going to give up Syria. They just aren't. Syria, to Vladimir Putin, Syria is his. And this is all about an oil pipeline. This is all about an oil pipeline running through Syria. It's not about fucking, extremism in the Islamic world, although that was an issue. I'm not going to lie. But ISIS was never, you can't believe the propaganda. ISIS was against America because America was there. ISIS was about reestablishing the caliphate in the Middle East. Their mission wasn't death to America. It was to reestablish the caliphate in the Middle East. That's what ISIS is, the Islamic State of Syria. They wanted to instill the caliphate again. We were there because Russia wants to run an oil pipeline. We were fighting ISIS in Iraq because their goal is to spread the caliphate everywhere. And that is not an American problem. That might be a UN problem, but that is not an American problem unless we are willing to enter into a holy war, because that's what it is. It is a holy war. It is a war of Muslims against Muslims, moderates against extremists. And yeah, we want to defeat the extremists, so you want to help the moderates. But we don't end up helping the moderates, we end up helping other extremists. In Syria, we were fighting alongside Al-Qaeda against ISIS. And the point of this rant is that we can't be them. We can't be the right wing. We can't be the hypocrites. Just because Trump does it doesn't mean it's bad. His motivations might be, but stopping a war that we should have never been in before, stopping our part in a genocide, that is not a bad thing. That is something the left should be celebrating. That is something that we begged Obama to give us. And it's a sad fucking thing that it was Trump that did it. Whatever his motivations, whatever his reasons. And his reasons are important. They might be one of the most important things. And we should look into those. Mattis resigning is a big deal. What's going on is a big deal. But I'm going to celebrate the fact that America is no longer in Syria. And I could only hope that for some deranged reason, Trump would pull us out of everything we're in. I think we should close all of our bases overseas. We should only have our ambassadors. We shouldn't have a military presence in any country besides our own. But that's my opinion. I don't think holding the world at the threat of a gun is good PR. And it hasn't worked for us yet. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share me on your social media. Have happy holidays, y'all. I'll see you soon.